to help you with all aspects related to insurance and finances. We know how important it is and want to make sure that you're supported as best as possible. And today on Lunchtime Live with the Center, Christine Guarda, who is the lead financial services representative, is back to talk about insurance and the financial side, as well as how her role supports you through fertility treatments. Hi, Chris. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. Chrissy, what does a financial services rep do?
Well, here at the center, we're here to assist patients in trying to navigate through their insurance process and the financial aspects of the program, and throughout their journey here at the center.
Yeah. So when would a patient meet with an FSR?
So we have first point of contact typically at the new patient visit. Here at the center, we're truly doing ours telehealth now. So it's a conversation that will happen after they have their telehealth visit with their either the APRN or one of their physicians here at the center.
And in that appointment, can you walk through what happens in that telehealth, that first appointment with you?
Sure. I mean, that's the perfect opportunity that we take to kind of compare notes, if you will, as far as what the patient's understanding of their infertility coverage is, along with the information that we gathered from their insurance company, just to see if there's any red flags. If something doesn't match, we can kind of stop, halt things, and really try to get down to the basics again, and just trying to compare notes. I mean, that's the important part. We're also discussing, the particulars of the patient's treatment and testing, because everything here at the center is individualized. So we'll have that information is shared with us by their medical professional, and we'll kind of go through with the patient, is there any expectations that we're anticipating, any out-of-pocket expenses, if referrals are required for their appointments, is that in place before they truly get started, and just navigating that way.
Is it just this one appointment, or how often do you meet?
It could be multiple appointments throughout their journey. Anytime a patient actually has questions, if something is being ordered and they're not sure, we encourage them, reach out to us. That's what we're here for. We're here to help.
And how does it work? How many FSRs, and is it dependent on who a patient's doctor is?
Yes, for the most part, yes. We actually do have 4 FSRs here in the Farmington location. There's 2 in Brantford. There's 3 in Hartford. So there's a multitude of us.
Oh, yeah. So you mentioned partnering and actually looking at and comparing notes. So what is your role versus the patient's role in this process?
We're here to help. So it really is beneficial if the patient makes a couple of phone calls. Sometimes it's a tedious task, but it's so truly worth it, just to make sure. I mean, note taking from the patients when they're speaking with someone at the insurance company, just kind of documenting who they spoke with, the date, the time, reference numbers. So it just helps us in our process. And if anything were to become questionable after the services are rendered, we have that information to go back to along with our own records. So it just really helps us build a bigger case if need be.
So even before their first appointment, it's important for them to call their insurance company, see what's covered, and then they can have a real a true conversation with you about, comparing notes, if you will.
We definitely encourage that.
Excellent. So Connecticut is one state that has a fertility mandate. What does that entail, and what does that mean for patients?
So that gives patients the opportunity, as long as the employer meets the criteria of that. Unfortunately, self-funded plans and out-of-state plans don't abide by that. But there is a wonderful group of people that are very fortunate enough to have this coverage through the Connecticut state mandate. Of course, they have to meet the medical criteria to access the benefit, but we're very lucky here in Connecticut.
Okay. What is do you know what the medical criteria is in particular?
So the mandate has become established in October of 2005 and has changed twice since then. Now it gives some patients the opportunity, if they have a cancer diagnosis, that they might be able to access benefit coverage for treatment of IVF, even if they don't have an infertility diagnosis.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's different ramifications for that.
So if there is an employer that's self-funded or out of state, what are some options for insurance coverage for treatments?
These patients still might be fortunate enough to have the benefit. There are other plans out there that have unlimited benefits accessible to them.
And it's currently open season right now. Is that true for everywhere? Is that true for all employees?
Not for all, but for the majority of them, yeah. January is a big restart year for insurance enrollments.
Okay. So when do you think it's important for a patient to maybe check out, like something like an insurance plan that does give them coverage if they don't have it? Is it this time of year only with open season?
It is for the majority of them, yes.
And when a patient calls in, just switching, when a patient calls in, um, calls in companies. They are most times getting representatives in the states. When we call, we're getting overseas. We almost always get overseas. Is that correct?
Typically, yes, that is correct.
So how do you compare the notes if you are talking to different people at different locations, different call centers?
By record keeping. I
Yeah.
mean, it really does help. I mean, so that we can go back to our conversations with reference numbers that will identify. In some cases, calls have to be pulled so that they can hear the
Mm,
information that transpired during those conversations, whether it's with the patient and the insurance company or with us and the insurance company.
that's interesting. So when you talk about record keeping, you're talking about date and time and then who they spoke with?
Absolutely. Yep. And if they can get reference numbers, that is truly beneficial as well.
Is there anything else that you think is important for patients to know as they go through this process?
Definitely giving us a call, keeping their financial service representatives up to date with the most accurate insurance information. If
Okay.
they have a separate pharmacy vendor, a separate pharmacy card, giving us that information also just helps maximize, the information that we can portray to them during that new patient visit or
Awesome.
along the way if changes happen.
Okay. So communication is key here.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, Chrissy, thank you for your time today. It was lovely seeing you and talking to you. And if you'd like additional information, definitely check out our website. Give your FSR a call. Our website is yukonfertility.com. And we will see you next time for another Lunchtime Live. Bye for now.
Wonderful. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.